Cenk appeared on Cuomo Primetime again to debate a conservative, McEnany, who's Trump's campaign secretary. I don't know what her title is. What does she do on the campaign again?
I think she's spokesperson for Trump's presidential campaign.
Okay, so
which is perpetual.
She's exactly. So she's gonna debate Cenk, and let's take a look at what they're debating.
Why doesn't he own that he gave an indication of something that shouldn't be done?
Well, number one, I would say the president said I would likely both go to the FBI and listen to the information.
I know, but you can't do both. You can't do the wrong thing and the right thing.
The ultimate point is no one cares about the Steele dossier, a foreign spy paid by the Clinton campaign. And
that's
the DNC
exactly right.
Who
he was paid by the campaign.
Once he receives that information, he's already broken the law. It's like saying, well, I would rob the bank, then I would go to the police and told them I robbed the bank. Well, then you still go to jail.
Do you at all care about the Russian misinformation from a Russian Kremlin official paid for by the DNC, or do you just not care because it's the DNC?
So you know what you guys love to do is deflection.
Right, you don't care.
You're attacking people. No, hold on. You're attacking people that are not in government right now, and you're going after Steele
so they're not in government.
Hillary Clinton, who are not in power. Look at what she's trying to do: is shift the debate. We're talking about how the president of the United States said you shouldn't work with the FBI, and she's going squirrel.
Providing a relevant analogy that you can't answer for.
We're looking at the president and his law breaking.
So can I just jump in really quickly, because what we're hearing from the Trump campaign about the Steele dossier, which by the way, they're misleading the public about that, but doesn't matter, right? Even if they're misleading the public, no one in the media debunks that. It drives me nuts.
Never
happens. I was listening to, I think it was CNN on my drive into work. And you have a Trump supporter, debating a non-Trump supporter, and they regurgitate that same talking point, and the host never debunks it. Why?
They never debunked the fact that it was originally Republican opposition research. We still don't know from whom. Had to be Cruz, because Jeb would have come out by now. And they also don't talk about the fact that not one line of the Steele dossier has yet been disproven. But it takes us 20 minutes to disprove a lie, and they've told 20 more in the meantime.
Right.
So that goes to the point I wanted to make. First of all, Cuomo did correct her on several occasions. He said, look, receiving stolen information from a foreign government is illegal, even if it isn't stolen. Receiving anything of value is illegal. Paying someone else that happens to live outside the country for a service, if you're in a presidential campaign, is not illegal. And so she's doing apples and oranges to distract you on purpose. But look at what's even happening here. Remember, on television, you have, for these segments, about 5 minutes at most. So what she wants to do is make sure that 3 of those minutes is taken up talking about an irrelevant Steele dossier, instead of the fact that the president of the United States went on national TV and said, I would never tell the FBI anything. And basically admitting he's been a lifelong criminal, and saying, yeah, of course I would take the information and receive it and use it. And so, well, that means that you would have committed an illegal act.
Yeah.
She doesn't want you to focus on that. That's why she's doing the squirrel trick with the dossier.
John Dean has 5 minutes with me as a congressman. I'm gonna use 4 of those minutes to say how awful John Dean is, and that's what Fox News and AM radio is gonna carry. And then he'll have 5 seconds to respond to what I just said in my filibuster. And you're right, it's exactly what she did. And I wanna be sympathetic to Kayleigh, because I admire her that she's working for the campaign on an outpatient basis. But at the end of the day, it's not her job to tell the truth. It's her job to provide the soundbite that can be taken out of context for Fox or right-wing radio later.
Right. So there's more from this debate. Let's take a look at the next video.
We're talking about the president of the United States of America, who said in the past that maybe working with law enforcement should be illegal. And he talked about rats. He talks about him in a context of a mob boss. Maybe that's why his name is Don. It's not Don Corleone, it's Don Trump. And he runs a criminal enterprise. He went on national TV and said, you shouldn't work with the FBI. I never worked with the FBI. The FBI director says this is criminal activity. He says, I think the FBI is wrong. You know who says that? Criminals say that. I thought you guys believed in the rule of law. I thought you guys
don't care about Christopher
Steele. God, you know what I love? The look on her face as she's actually being challenged by someone who knows what they're talking about. Because these CNN debates, look, sometimes they'll be good, but most of the time you'll have a Trump supporter honestly steamrolling the entire time.
100%.
That's the job.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna win the debate when you're outside the bubble. So the best you can hope for is get the quick soundbite that they can use back at home. And Cenk, I'm really disappointed that you have not even addressed Vince Foster. What is wrong with you? Why are you deflecting?
So if you notice there, to John's point, she said, like basically because I'd said earlier that she was doing deflection, she's like, oh yeah, this one's gonna stick on you. You're deflecting from the Steele dossier. Wait, that wasn't the point of the segment at all. Chris Cuomo set it up as we're gonna have a debate on what Donald Trump said yesterday, what the president of the United States said yesterday on national television.
That's the story. He went
the story.
From no collusion to pro-collusion.
Yes.
Or collusion curious.
So what does she do? She's like, oh, you're deflecting from the real story, which is the Steele dossier plus Vince Foster plus what Jimmy Carter did in 1973. Okay, and if you notice, to Anna's point about steamrolling, they constantly talk over you. Like, so if you are not winning the debate, what are you gonna do? Well, first of all, you filibuster, you talk for as long as you possibly can, then you deflect from Donald Trump's criminality, and then if none of that works, you talk over the person. So we hit all three and it still didn't work.
Yeah.
So we are likely to do that again on Cuomo Primetime. So if you like me busting these guys up, now the steamroller is going in the other direction. Okay.
I love it. And
you go check it out at 9 o'clock on CNN.